turn your dial to cable 18. You will see the best in TV. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Sit back and listen. You will hear the best conversation of the year. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom.
Welcome to Talking with Tom. I'm Tom Dacey alongside Ed McCarver. Hello, Edward.
Hello, Tommy. How are you tonight?
Good, good. Back again for another show.
Yeah, nice to be back here on the second day of June as we are taping this.
Yes, of course, we just got off our big 21st anniversary show
Yeah,
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, a lot of fun down at one of the establishments in town here. It was 90 minutes of reminiscing, good musical talent, and a lot of laughs, too. It was nice.
I gotta say, I finally just got it edited late last night, and so it is online as we speak.
Good.
And it'll be available later this week.
Yep,
on
and
WPAA.
And thanks to you, I put it on my Facebook page, and one of my 32 friends or so that I have will be able to see that if they go onto my Facebook page.
You have 32 friends? Isn't that 31 too much?
Yes, 32 friends. I think I know about 5 of them, but that's okay. That's okay.
You know, we were supposed to have a guest this evening, but apparently I don't know if they're stuck in traffic.
Well, we hope they're stuck in traffic. We hope they didn't realize who they were coming on with and maybe changed their mind, but I had a number of hard-hitting questions for our guest, but I guess we'll just toss that away, and unless he shows up later on, or he or she, because we don't want to disclose who this individual is, but if they should make a late entrance, we'll go ahead and proceed with our normal plans. But now we'll just wing it. I have to tell you, the last guest we had, Dr. Aaron Bernard, I ran into him about a week ago, and he wanted to say again what a nice time he had here. He enjoyed the interview very much, and he was an excellent guest.
That was a great show. Of course, we're talking about the standardized patient program at Quinnipiac.
Yep, at Quinnipiac University over in North Haven. Dr. Bernard was good enough to be a guest and liked it so much he even stayed for an encore show. But he said he enjoyed himself very much.
And of course, you're one of his subjects.
Yes, I am. I'm one of his senior subjects. Or
as I called you that night, one of his stiffs.
Yes, getting stiffer by the moment here. But yeah, I'm actually starting my third season with Dr. Bernard in the Quinnipiac University Standardized Patient program, and I'm loving every minute of it. I tell people that it took retirement to help me find my dream job. Not that this isn't my dream job here, working with you, but they pay better at Quinnipiac. But it is nice to be back here, and like they say with the Seinfeld is a show about nothing. Tonight, I guess our show will be about nothing since our guest didn't show.
But I just have to say, I just recently made the ultimate sacrifice for Mr. McCarver.
What?
I cannot believe that I'm doing this. I made the ultimate sacrifice for you, Mr. McCarver. Here you go.
And what is... Oh, well, what is this? Oh, it's not my birthday. Let me see what this is here. We will... oh, I see something. Oh, it is, and I don't know if this will read well, but maybe it will, but this is officially licensed New York Jet playing cards.
Just in the season.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Well, I like that, and Peter's getting a very nice shot of, I like that. You know, we're only, let's see, June, July, yeah, preseason starts in 2 months, so I like this. New York Jets playing cards. I will gamble.
So how long before they'll be in last place?
Listen, we're all in first place now, and unlike other teams in the AFL East, I will not cheat with these cards. and my team will not cheat and eat. But thank you very much. I want to see who's the Joker. Is it? I was going to say Rex Ryan, but he's gone now. But is Geno Smith the Joker in this deck? But we'll see. But thank you very much, Tommy.
You're welcome. I can't believe that. I actually touched it.
Well, I appreciate that, and I will gamble with pride or play setback with pride. Do they, I don't even know if they still call it setback, because my kid was telling me I think they call it pitch. I guess the kids call it pitch now.
I don't know. I always knew it as setback. Yeah. One of my favorite subjects in high school.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, but thank you very much. I do appreciate that gift. I'm humbled by it. But.
You're welcome. You know, we have a hot topic here in Wallingford, and that is the Oakdale Theater.
You and I were at that zoning meeting that they had on I forget, it was last week sometime when.
Last Wednesday, I believe.
Last Wednesday, was it? Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes, about the cease and desist order, and it's getting quite a lot of press. I know Citizen Mike was talking about it on his fine show, seen here on WPAA. Mike and Ralph were talking about it, and I think I'm sure it's the subject of every Facebook blog about Wallingford and every corner coffee shop. I'm sure that's a topic well. And you and I were reminiscing about how Oakdale is kind of an institution in this crowd. Even before we're taping, we were talking with Peter that you know, it doesn't mean that the Oakdale's going to close tomorrow.
No.
Or will close any time soon. But I was away over the weekend, but you had a chance to go to, they had a rally, I guess, in the
Yes, there was a rally Saturday afternoon at Fishbein Park, over by the railroad station. They had not really a big crowd, but it was big enough, and all the news stations came out. Of course, another WPAA personality, Bobby O.
Oh, okay, yeah, Bobby O'Connor.
Bobby O was there, along with Jason Zandri and
former councilman Jason Zandri, and a very well-known figure in town.
I did ask Jason, though, where his Captain America uniform was.
Yes. Oh.
I expected to see Captain America there,
he was not in costume.
I guess it was a little too hot for him.
So, but it was a good rally. As I say, I was away, but I looked at the Record Journal online and was able to see the article and see the pictures, and it looked like it was well attended, and I guess well supported too, as the cars drove by, honking and giving thumbs up.
A lot of honking going on.
Yeah.
And as you said, all the news stations were there. Also, I guess PLR also has been covering this.
Yeah, I know Jim Koplik from Live Nation, which runs Oakdale now, is a frequent guest of Chaz and AJ, who have their morning show on WPLR, and he was talking about that. So WPLR, and I guess Mike Lapatino is a Wallingford resident.
Yes.
So that was well represented. But I think anybody that's been in this town for any length of time considers Oakdale a good neighbor. I consider Oakdale...
I grew up with the Oakdale even before I moved to Wallingford. When I was living in North Haven, I went to quite a few shows there when I was younger.
Yep, and I remember when it was the theater in the round, it was summer stock, they used to call it. And I remember seeing groups, as a matter of fact, we were joking before, I think everybody that I saw there is now passed away. And even a couple of weeks ago with the news of B.B. King. And I remember seeing B.B. King at the Oakdale, Ray Charles, saw a number of shows. And remember at the Oakdale, it had the theater in the round, and the stage would actually rotate around, which was fun. I remember George Carlin, I saw there several times.
I remember seeing Kenny Rogers there in the round.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, just a long time ago. And, you know, the list could go on and on. James Brown. I remember seeing Jesus Christ Superstar way back in 1969. So it was, and most recently, when the new theater was built, the permanent theater, I remember seeing Riverdance there, and it was absolutely awesome.
And of course, I guess a lot of the complaints involve the use of the dome in the lobby.
Yeah, they have the theater, and they have a lot of their concerts and shows in the theater. But occasionally, to my understanding, what they would do is they would use the smaller dome area for concerts. I remember back in 1996 seeing Big Bad Voodoo Daddy playing in the dome there. It was a lot of fun. They did a lot of swing music. I don't even know if Big Bad Voodoo Daddy is still popular. Aaron, do you know who Big Bad Voodoo Daddy is? They don't. So all right. So, and then this was almost 20 years ago, 1996.
And from what I understand, when I was at the meeting the other night, originally the dome was just supposed to be part of their lobby.
Right. Right.
It was not supposed to be used for anything.
Yep. So occasionally, I think when they wanted to have shows that I guess didn't draw crowds that the bigger shows would draw, they would have it in the Dome Theater. And I could be mistaken about this, but I know with Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, they had an area where if you wanted to dance, you could dance too while listening to the band. I don't think they had chairs set up. And I think it was the same way with these electronic dance music shows they would have, that the participants would be able to dance while listening to the music. And as they discussed in the meeting the other night, sometimes the technology maybe has changed with the music, so the bass sound, that reverberating sound of the bass that you would hear, I guess the sound would travel beyond the walls, and that's what the, I guess, alleged complaint is about.
And I guess there was actually one complaint that the police responded to, and there's actually a report from an officer where the noise was so bad that it shook his cruiser.
I did hear that. I did hear that at the meeting, and I guess it just depends on who you talk to. As I say, Oakdale has been around since we were young people, which was several years ago, and
more for you.
yes, but I don't remember anybody complaining during the
Wiggles.
yes, I don't remember anybody complaining in the 60s, 70s, or for the 40-plus years that Oakdale has been around, and I think it would be a shame. Not to mention the tax dollars that would be lost. There's a restaurant across the street from the Oakdale that I know would be heartbroken and probably wallet broken if the Oakdale did shut down. But it's not shutting down. It's the appeal process or whatever red tape has to be taken will go on and on. And I know I saw a sign. I think Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga will still be there late this month, so not to worry.
Yes, I know they are appealing and they're going back to court, so we'll just have to keep our eyes open for that.
Yep. And as in anything, I think that involves the court system, it will take a long time to process. So I think people that have tickets for concerts in the future, not to be worried that the show must go on and the show will go on until finally the piece of legislation is finally exhausted.
And of course, one of our alumni here at WPA also worked at the Oakdale back in the day, Michael Buckley.
Michael Buckley, yes.
Michael Buckley.
Yes, I forgot about him. Yeah,
Matter of fact, his office was right next door to Jim Koplik.
You know what? I do remember that. And I remember way back in the, what did the kids say? Way back in the day, on Table for Two, I think Michael and Krista had Mr. Koplik on.
Yes,
as a guest
I
one
was
night.
in the studio that night.
Oh, was that right?
Studio audience.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. God, that was a long time ago. But yeah, Oakdale was running strong then, and it will continue to flourish.
But it's been getting a lot of press. I mean, all the news stations were here the other night.
Yeah. It was like a major press conference. I think we saw, who was it? I was like Bob Wilson from Channel 8 was there. Channel 3 was there.
Fox 61.
Fox 61.
Channel 30.
Yep, Channel 30. So all the biggies were there. The four main outlets here in Connecticut were there. And it was a major news story, and I'm not sure, I don't think anything was resolved, just that the cease and desist is still going on, and the appeal process will begin, and it's a story to be continued. I know by the time this airs, the Planning and Zoning Commission will probably have already had their meeting, but as we tape, that meeting is scheduled for Monday, June the 8th, and then we'll see whatever develops after that.
Do you think down the road, if they can't work this out, do you think the Oakdale will just pack it in and leave?
I hope not. I hope not. As I say, it's as a Wallingford resident, it's kind of like part of our DNA. You know, it would be like seeing Fishbein Park go away downtown, or like seeing Simpson Court pack up and leave. It's always been part of Wallingford. You know, when you think of Wallingford, I think you think of Choate, you think of Oakdale, and different other things. I hope it doesn't close down. I do remember Jim Koplik saying that it has been tougher to book acts for Oakdale because of Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods.
Yes.
That a lot of acts that used to come to Oakdale in the pre-casino days are now bypassing the theater to go to the larger venues, Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods. But I would hate to see it. I would hate to see it close down. You know, we talk about concerts, but I know there are a lot of trade shows that go on there.
Business conferences as well.
Yep, business conferences, graduations. I have a friend of mine that works as he's a union stagehand, and I remember he did some high school graduations there. As a matter of fact, we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. And he was telling me that the same person that complained about the concerts, I think complained when they were, they were cutting the grass or dragging some furniture along, chairs or something like that. But I remember he said to me in quite vocal terms that I'm not allowed to repeat now, that the woman complained because they were too loud setting up for a high school graduation.
Fill in the blank, folks.
Yes. But we forget about the trade shows, and we forget about the graduations. And
I believe one of the churches was using it too for a while, weren't they?
New Life, our friend Will Marotti,
yeah.
I think, used it. And also there was a time, I don't know if it's this past year or 2 years ago, when there was a leaky roof at Sheehan High School.
Yes, Sheehan High School used it.
Used the
and that was brought up at the meeting the other night.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So the Oakdale is definitely a good neighbor. So, and I would hate to see it close, and I think a lot of people would.
And so I think, as you said, not only the restaurant near the Oakdale, but a lot of the ones down near us will be affected too, because a lot of people do stop to the local businesses before and after the show.
Yep. I know a lot of restaurants. I remember a place that we usually hang out at up on Simpson Court. I think sometimes they do promotions if after the show bring in your ticket stub and get X amount off your beverage or appetizer or something like that. So it does affect the town's economy. And I personally, I'm not a betting man, unless it's the Jets or Manny Pacquiao,
which you lose your money on.
But I would bet that the Oakdale wouldn't close. So it's a good news story. It sells a lot of papers and gets a lot of ink and gets a lot of Facebook time. But I think when all is said and done, I'm confident that the Oakdale will still be standing and still be having good concerts as they have been since B.B. King and Ray Charles.
My last show I saw at the Oakdale, the Beach Boys.
Really?
Yep.
What year, do you remember?
Oh, God. Has to be over 5 years now, at least.
Really? Okay. I think the last...
I went with our good buddy Frankie.
Oh, Frank, who was at our 21st anniversary show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I actually won the tickets off DRC.
Oh, really? All right.
So.
All right. So, yeah, and I'm sure it was a good show.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, was it in the Dome or in the theater?
No, it was in the theater.
In the theater. Okay. Okay. I know the last show I saw there was Riverdance a few years ago, and then I remember my stepkids had a summer job there one summer, and they actually got us tickets to see the play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was like what are they called? Before they go on Broadway, they do their pre-Broadway tour, so they happened to be appearing at the Oakdale. And, yeah, the kids got us free tickets, so Maureen and I went and had a lovely night seeing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, so it was fun. And Riverdance was just awesome at the Oakdale.
You know, one thing that we didn't mention, that since our last show, they had the finale of American Idol.
Yes, yes.
And Connecticut's own Nick Fradiani from, well, at that time Guilford, but I guess he lives in West Haven now.
Oh, no, does he really?
Is the new American Idol.
I have not seen American Idol ever until that night. So I watched, and actually, in all honesty, I just put it on in the last 10 minutes just to see if the young man would win. And I know on Facebook everybody had, what do they call it, Fradiani fever.
Yep.
So, and even the local news stations, even the other than TIC Fox, which would promote one of its own shows, but you know, the ABC outlet, NBC, and the CBS outlets were all saying, you know, Fradiani fever. Let's hope he does well. And he did do well, and kudos to him. It's nice to see. Nice to see a local person do well.
Good for the state of Connecticut.
Yep. There have been other, I think, Connecticut performers that have been on American Idol, but have never gotten to #1, or I guess even made it close until Nick did it. But
great job.
But good for him. Yep.
And another local subject I wanted to talk about is our good friend, the Juice, Bob Parisi. Just announced that he's not going to seek re-election to the town council.
I did see that. Bob, a good, a personal friend to us, a personal friend to the station. I know John and I had Bob on several times, announced and occasionally unannounced.
Walk by.
He would come on. Yes. He's a nicer guy you'll never meet. He's very, very, very funny, very, very knowledgeable, and definitely loves his town and has served this town well over the years. I did not get a chance to go to the parade this year, but I assume he was in it, and along with the other councilmen.
I didn't either, and had I known that it didn't kick off right at 9 o'clock, I probably could have made it. I didn't wake up till about 8:30 that morning.
Yeah, and I had a race in Durham in Memorial Day at 11 o'clock, and I was under the impression that the parade started at 9 o'clock.
Me too.
So I said, well, let me swing up by, I was up on North Main Street by Moses Wise School, and I said, well, I'll wait till about 9:30, so at least maybe I'll see part of the parade. And it didn't really start until late. And I guess which I didn't realize is that they have the ceremonies at 9 o'clock at Dutton Park, and then the parade steps off. So I guess depending on the length of whatever speech is to be made, there might be like a window where it would step off. So I guess it actually didn't start until maybe a half hour or 40 minutes. So unfortunately for me, I had to leave to go to my race, and but I guess the parade went well. There was a very, very good crowd, which is always nice to see.
Yep. And now you finished pretty good in that race too, from what I understand.
Well, I'm very glad you brought that up, young man. It was see, it's I came in second in my division in the Durham. Thank you. Although in the interest of full disclosure, there were only two of us. So I was in the 65 to 70 year-old age group, and luckily for me, most of the participants in my age group have already died. So there's not much competition there. But thank you. I was fortunate to come in second place, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So Durham has their Memorial Day parade, And then they have two races. They have a 10K race, which is 6.2 miles, and a 4K race, which is 2.4 miles. And the last couple of years, I've opted to do the 2.4 race. And as they say, another successful year in the books. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So I try to stay healthy at the race. It's also a nice race to kind of kick off the summer season, because I think up until April I was running, wearing the hat and the long johns and my gloves and everything.
Yes, we saw those pictures on Facebook.
Yes, I put it all on Facebook. I think ad nauseum, as some people say. But yeah, that was fun. I had a good time that Memorial Day.
Now, I think I also saw, besides Bob Parisi, isn't John Thompson also?
I guess he's stepping down. I was away this weekend, as I may have mentioned earlier, and I just was looking at the papers today, and I just saw the headline that he's stepping down. So I don't know anything other than that. So I don't want to comment too much about it, other than to say that John Thompson's been around a long time, and I know I've seen him at council meetings. So I don't know if the move was a shock or what, but but I did see that headline. So
now Bob was the longest running councilor, wasn't he, on the town council?
To my knowledge, I know in my I actually started.
Because I believe.
Yeah, I worked for WMMW back in the early '70s, and I had to cover would cover the Wallingford Town Council meetings. Now, in those days, Joseph Carini was the mayor, but I remember Bob Parisi was a member of the council back then. So, are we getting the 2-minute warning?
Wow. That was a quick half hour.
Who needs guests when we could wing it? But yeah, Bob was a councilman back in the '70s. So
because I remember him and Iris Papali were both on at the same time, right?
Yes, and I think Iris. Yes, I think Iris was the first woman ever elected to the town council. I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, they were both on at the same time, and
Yep.
of course Iris stepped down a few years back.
Yep, and now Bob is stepping down, and both are. Wallingford is a better place because of councilors like Robert Parisi and also Iris Papali.
Absolutely.
So.
Boy, Goob, we did it. that was a quick half hour.
And our studio audience hasn't fallen asleep or walked out yet. And so the check's in the mail, Aaron.
Once again, fine job by Peter back there.
Yes, awesome job.
Thanks, Pete.
You're welcome.
What's that?
A voice from the heavens.
Well, all right, Tommy. Well, this has been fun, and let's make a date and do it again next month.
Do it next month. Hopefully, we'll have a guest next month. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us. Thanks again to Peter, our studio audience. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Turn your dial to cable 18. You will see the best in TV. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Sit back and listen. You will hear the best conversation of the year. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom.